back to another edition of Sports Talk Live. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Ask us your questions for us to use on the show. Our first topic today, baseball. Let's get started.
Westchester's baseball team is truly on fire as they've now won 12 straight games with their two most recent wins coming against Wilmington and Immaculata. Since their last loss on March 11th, they have outscored their opponents 120-43. I think it's safe to say we all underestimated this team, but I have to ask you this. Is it just a hot streak right now, or are the Golden Rams for real?
All right, for me, the Westchester team lives and dies by their best player, who this year is Joe Wendell. He's batting an unbelievable .435 with 26 RBIs and a league-leading 7 home runs. So for me, as we keep moving forward, he has to play well in order for us to win.
Going back to what Riley said, we were wrong where we put Westchester, but so was the whole country. They were unranked coming in last week, but with the new NCAA polls this week, Westchester jumped all the way up to the number 2 spot with a record of 15-1. And this is really an unbelievable start for our baseball team, and we better get ready because come June, we could see Westchester and Cary, North Carolina, because they could just be competing for the national title.
Let's take a look at the baseball team's upcoming schedule as they are coming up on a lot of PSAC games. Uh-oh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tyler, what are you doing? We're filming here. You got to get out.
Anyway, let's take a look at the baseball team's upcoming schedule as they are coming up on a lot of PSAC games. You definitely want to circle Friday on your calendar as Westchester welcomes in the Warriors of East Stroudsburg, who are 3-1 in the conference and currently 3rd in the PSAC East.
So far this season, we played mostly non-conference games, so these next few games against teams like East Stroudsburg should really give a good gauge of where we are and see where we stand in the competitive PSAC East.
You're right. The only teams we played so far in the PSAC is Mansfield, and they're at the bottom of the division, so these next couple games will really tell us what we're made of.
Let's head away from the diamond and move to gymnastics. The Westchester gymnastics team traveled to New Haven, Connecticut this past weekend to compete in the ECAC championships, where they were able to place 3rd. Stephanie Schuler scored a 36.975 to place 3rd in the all-around. Junior Kaylee LaFleur placed 5th in the beam with a 9.7, and Karen Lascaris tied for 7th on the uneven bars with a 9.5. Luckily, Westchester had 5 individuals qualify for the USAG Collegiate Nationals, which will be held April 13th and 14th in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
As we move on, let's take a look at women's lacrosse. Sitting in the 2nd spot of the PSAC East, they have had a solid start to the season so far with a record of 4-1 overall and 2-1 in the conference. Coming up this Friday, they play Gannon, who is currently 2-0 in the PSAC conference. So this should be a competitive contest. Let's hope Westchester comes out with a victory.
Yeah, we just lost a tight one to Bloomsburg, 14-13, so it would be nice to see them bounce back with a big win over Gannon. They have to find a way to pull out these close games against the teams at the top in order to have a shot as they move further on in the season.
Up next is track and field. Let's start off with the men as they had 4 winners in the first outdoor event this season. Connor Ewell started it off winning the high jump, clearing the bar at 5 feet 8 3/4 The next winner was Eric Hunter, who won the pole vault with a height of 14 feet 1 1/4 and Brian Pilisha won the hammer throw, sending a distance of 133 feet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've never thrown a hammer, and if I did, it wouldn't go 133 feet. Anyway, Laquan Chapman finished it up for the men, winning the long jump with a leap of 21 feet and 10 3/4.
Taking a look at the women, though, they also came out with 2 winners. Senior Kathleen Casey had a huge day, pulling out 2 events. She won the 3,000 meter with a time of 10 minutes and 15 seconds, and also won the 1,500 meter, finishing in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The other star for the ladies was Amanda Hughes, who placed first in the javelin throw with an impressive distance of 113 feet and 2 inches.
Let's finish up here on STL with a segment of Outside the Horns, where we're going to take another look at March Madness and the Final Four. With only a single 1 seed left in Kentucky, it's been a very upset-filled NCAA tournament. We made our picks last week. Let's see how we did and how we see this tournament ending up.
Well, I'll start off as I did the worst, losing both my teams in a matter of hours on Thursday night. It started off with Michigan State, who looked awful against Louisville and didn't deserve to win the game at all and just really disappointed me. And shortly thereafter, Cincinnati fell to an Ohio State team that just looked like a much better team, and they couldn't contain Jared Sullinger.
Yeah, on the other hand, I'm looking pretty good considering I had the Louisville Cardinals as my sleeper, and they upset your Michigan State Spartans, so I was pretty excited about that. And then they went on to beat Florida in the Elite Eight. And looking at the other side of the bracket, I had Ohio State, who has looked good the whole entire tournament. So overall, I'm happy with my 2 picks.
Yeah, Brian, your Louisville Cardinals, I'm afraid to say, beat my upset pick of the Florida Gators. Florida was up as much as 12 points in the second half, and then at the end they just lost it. And on the other side, though, at least my Kentucky Wildcats have been rolling through the tournament. They've been beating every team and led by some of the best freshmen in the country, Anthony Davis and Marquise Teague. I don't see anyone beating them.
Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks. Who do you guys see cutting down the nets at the end of this tournament?
All right, as I stated before, I think Kentucky has what it takes to go all the way, led by the superior talent and coached by one of the best coaches in the entire country, John Calipari. I think they have what it takes to go all the way and to win the championship.
I agree with you that they're the most talented team in the tournament left, but the one point that I want to make is that they have a lot of inexperience. And if they are in a close game down the stretch, whether they played well or not is going to decide whether they win or lose this national championship.
I see what both of you are saying. Kentucky has showed what a dominant team they are, and although I love Louisville, I just think Kentucky's a better team, so they're going to pull it out and make it to the championship. But on the other side, I'm still sticking with Ohio State. I think they're the hottest team right now, and they showed that in all their games. And when it comes down to Kentucky and Ohio State, I think Ohio State has the experience against this young Kentucky team, and that's why, in the end, they're going to win the championship. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time here on Sports Talk Live. We'll be here next week, same time, same place. Take it easy, Westchester.